Okay. All right. So I think I'm recording this. I'm glad to see so many of you here. Y'all can still hear me, right? You can just type something in the chat box. You guys aren't going to be able to talk, but hopefully you can hear me. So, yay. That looks like everybody. Okay. Well, welcome. My name is Ms. Stokes, and this is AP Comparative Government, not AP Euro History. Does that make things a little bit better? Hopefully you can see my PowerPoint, yes? It's not AP European History A, it's Comparative Government. But I'm glad that you see this right here because I teach two classes for Georgia Virtual School. And when you're contacting me, it would be very, very helpful if you tell me which class that you're in. A lot of times I'll get emails or calls from students and they'll say, well, I don't understand the assignment, and so I have to dig a little bit further. It just helps save me a little bit of time if you tell me that you're in comparative government, okay? But I've got both of my classes listed here because the welcome session is pretty much the same for both classes. I'm just going to go over a few things showing you how to work the course. I'll ask a quick question of everybody that's here. How many of you, let's say, how many of you this is your very first time taking a Georgia Virtual School online class or an online class in general? You can just type something in the chat box. First time Reese, okay. And Katie and Rhea. Okay, that's good. Well, just know whether it's your first time or if you have taken other courses through Georgia Virtual School, please know that a couple of things. I will be here in this live session every Monday at 4 o'clock for your class. AP European History, their session is on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock, so I'll be there in the same room at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays, but that's for that class. But if you need to come in, pop in real quick and ask me a quick question about your class, that's perfectly fine. Just know that mainly I'm going to be there for those folks. I usually try to log in about, hold on. It never fails. Anytime I get started with these live sessions, I have to sneeze. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. What was I saying? I can't remember. I'm here every Monday, 4 o'clock for you guys. I'm usually, this is what I was saying. Usually log in at least 15 minutes prior to the start of the session. Both sessions start at 4 o'clock, so if you need to pop in and ask me a quick question, that's perfectly fine. In just a minute, I'm going to go over some of my contact information. Another thing I need you to know, if this is your first time or if you've taken other Georgia Virtual School classes, that I'm here to help you. Okay, so if you get confused or you're not sure about something, it's perfectly fine to reach out to me. I will never ever go back to you and say, I told you that in the live session. You can't ask me that. I will never say that to you, okay? So even if, don't ever think that you are interrupting me or, bothering me. I get that from students a lot. I'm so sorry I'm bothering you. You're not bothering me. That's what they pay me to do, is teach this class and help you get through it, okay? And I want you to be successful. So please reach out to me anytime and ask whatever question you have, whether it's something really difficult or if you think it's something simple, that's perfectly fine. Okay. That out of the way, this is spring 2019, and here I am. This is my contact information. This contact number that you see right here, hopefully you guys can see my little red dot. Can you? My little laser pointer here. I just discovered this. Can you see it? Somebody... Yeah, okay, good. All right, so this number right here, you may want to write it down. You can also text me at this number. And I'll be honest with you, it's a lot easier for me to respond to a text sometime than a phone call or even a voicemail. And sometimes even an email, although I also have the email on my phone. I'm just like you guys. You guys are always on your phone. I'm always on my phone. And so I have the email on my phone, and I can pretty much respond to email very quickly. But you can text me here. If you want to email me, there's my email address right here. It's the Georgia Virtual School email address, just like you have. Now, last night I sent out a welcome email to you guys' personal email address. That's the last time I'm going to correspond with you through your personal email. From this day forward, as long as we both shall live, I will be writing to you and corresponding with the Georgia Virtual School email. They want us to do that, the powers that be at Georgia Virtual School. So when we talk to each other, let's make sure we use that email. My hours of availability, I'm really available anytime. But officially, I'm available 4 to 8 p.m. So just keep that in mind. And any time during this session, if you have a question, please feel free to type it in the chat box. I'll respond to it. Also, I would like to add that this session is being recorded. So I'd like to give a shout out to those who are listening but are not here, and know that every synchronous session will be recorded for you. In case you can't make it here at 4 o'clock on Mondays, you can listen to the recording at your leisure. All right. We have syllabi and schedules. I emailed these to you guys last night along with a welcome letter. Most of you guys have chosen to work the 18-week schedule. That's the schedule I sent to you. There are 2 other start dates for advanced placement courses, a 16-week schedule and 14-week schedule that are available. Doesn't mean that those later schedules have less work. In fact, what happens is I have to squeeze 18 weeks worth of work into 16 weeks or 14 weeks. So actually what happens with them is, whereas you guys have kind of a chill start to the semester, you know, there's not a lot demanding on you. By the time 14-week schedule folks get here, they're having to do things a little bit more quickly. I'll show you in just a minute. We're going to look at our course. I'll show you in just a minute where these schedules can be found on our course homepage. So this is what I use to grade your work. So please make sure you know and understand what these schedules are and how they work. I'm going to go over a little bit of that this afternoon. In fact, here is the schedule right here. It looks, I just took a portion of the 18-week schedule. So what you're going to have is a Monday through Friday work week. And we don't work on the weekends. Well, we don't do any official work on the weekends, okay? What you see here in the center is the assignment due date. Okay, now those of you who have taken Georgia Virtual School classes with Georgia Virtual School before, maybe even last semester, this is going to be new. They changed something, which Georgia Virtual School is very good at doing. They like to change things. I guess it kind of keeps us on our toes. So the change is this. Each week, you see on this Wednesday date, you have what is called an assignment due date, okay? And what that means is all of the work listed on the week prior to the assignment due date is due on this Wednesday date, okay? So let's take this first week right here, all right? What's due on this assignment due date right here on the, what is this, January 28, 29, this, is there 31 days in January? I think there are. So this maybe would be January 30th. On this assignment due date right here, I'm going to be looking for this test right here, this assignment, this assignment, this assignment, and this is the change for you guys who have taken Georgia Virtual School classes before. I'm also going to be looking for this assignment. Okay, let me just let that ferment for just a moment. That's a little bit different. So on this assignment due date, I want to see this, 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 and this turned in by you. Okay? What I don't need to see is this, because I'm going to be looking for this by this assignment due date. Okay? Are there any questions about that? It's a little bit of a change. And so the reason for this is, let's say our sovereignty, authority, and power multiple choice test. That's due by this day right here. Okay? But really, say you don't get it done by this day and you don't turn it in until this Thursday. Okay? I'm giving you, you have this day as a 1 day grace period for all of this work for the previous week. Because the late policy says, if you don't turn in your assignments that are due on this assignment due date right here, and you turn it in on a Thursday or a Friday, I have to take 20% off. So what happens is, if you don't turn in this assignment due date, as this sovereignty, authority, and power test by this Wednesday date, and say you don't get it to me until, say you do turn it in on Wednesday, okay? And Thursday, if I don't see it in the grade book, then I'm going to add zeros. Does that make sense? Let's see. If we finish 1 week's assignment early, we can go ahead and start working. Yes, you can always work ahead, Reese. You can always work ahead. Say you're done with the week's assignment and you want to go ahead and start doing other things. Yes, you can do that. Okay. This change of the preceding week's work, the work that's on this Wednesday not being due until the following assignment due date, this is new, so we're all gonna, have to figure out how to do this ourselves. Okay, so essentially what I'm saying is, whatever assignment is due on this assignment due date, it's not due until the following assignment due date. Okay, like this growing authoritarianism in Russian discussion, I'm not going to be looking for that on this day. I'm going to be looking for it on this day. Okay? You may have more questions as the semester goes on, and if so, that's fine. I will answer them as best I can. Okay? I'm going to move on. Okay, so I suggest that you print off your course schedule and look at the assignments that are due each week, on each Wednesday by midnight. If you have questions about the assignments, by all means, please reach out to me and let me help you answer them. I will tell you this. If you flood me with questions on a Wednesday, just know that you might not get an answer, okay? If you wait to the last minute to ask me a question about an assignment, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to be able to make sure I answer you within 24 hours, okay? So the best thing to do is take a look at what's due each week, get an idea of what you're supposed to do, and then if you have questions, reach out to me, okay? So what if you want to go on vacation? Which I really don't have much problem here. I usually have this problem in the summertime, but excuse me, because some of you are seniors or even juniors, and this is spring semester. A lot of times I have students going off and looking at colleges and touring colleges, and they say, I couldn't do my work because I was off looking at this college. Well, the expectation is that you will work ahead. That's what Reese just asked me. Can I work ahead? Yes, you can, okay? The expectation is that you'll work ahead, not that you will not do the assignments that are due and get an extension on that, okay? They're very strict about extensions, okay? In fact, I don't even give you an extension, okay? I can't do that. If you don't turn in your assignment for whatever reason, I have to, I give you a form that you have to fill out, and somebody higher up than me says, yes, it's okay, or no, it's not okay if you turn in this assignment late. Seriously, it's that serious, that's strict, okay? No exceptions will be granted for late work. Okay. I'm moving on. Okay, the late work policy. Okay, I was explaining this just a moment ago. Okay, so the assignments are due at midnight. Okay, but they can be accepted up to two school days. Okay, if it's due on Wednesday and you turn it in on Thursday or Friday, I can take it, but I have to take 20% off. Okay, and get this, they have people coming in to see when you turn something in and if I took 20% off. Okay, so I've got to do it. You can turn it in on Thursday or Friday after that Wednesday assignment due date. At the end of the day on Friday, after Friday, I can't take the assignment. So if you turn it in on Saturday or Sunday, you've wasted your time. Okay, I'm just going to put a 0 and say, sorry, this is more than 2 days late. I can't take it. And there you will have done some work on it, and then you won't get credit for it. Okay. Name of the game is even if you tell me ahead of time, oh, I'm not going to be able to get my assignments in, then I'm going to say, well, the late policy is going to be what it is, and if you don't turn it in within 2 days, I'm not going to be able to take it at all. Okay. Now, if you have a reason for not turning in, and you want to fill out a form to get an extension, then we can do that. I can send you the link to that, okay? The last day of the semester, assignments have to be turned in by May 3rd, and then you have 2 days after that. All classwork must be submitted prior to the time of the final exam. Okay, so once we start the final exam, I can't take any more assignments. That includes extra credit. And I do usually give extra credit or give the opportunity for everybody to get extra credit throughout the semester. After that last May 7th, I cannot take any more assignments or extra credit because we're in finals. All right, I'm moving on. Just remember, this is an online class. You're expected to have a computer. You're expected to have internet access. It's not an excuse for you to have technical difficulties as a reason why you can't turn in your assignment. I have a lot of students say, well, my internet was out. That's why I couldn't turn in any assignments. Well, that's too bad. If your internet's out, go sit in Chick-fil-A's parking lot and use their Wi-Fi, okay? Or in their restaurant, need a Chick-fil-A, okay? That's exactly what I have to do. I cannot just say, well, my internet's out, so I'm not going to do a live session. I can't do that. Or my internet's out, I'm not going to grade your work. I can't do that. Okay, I have to make arrangements for a backup or go someplace that does have Wi-Fi so I can get my work done. The same expectation is of you. Okay, you have to have a computer. Yes, I've had students who have taken my class or signed up for my class that didn't have a computer, had no way to do their work. So let's see. We've said enough about that. I think you get it. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are able to work this online course. Okay, so we have Georgia Virtual School email. I mentioned something about that to you. In just a minute, I'll show you how you can access your email. And you also have access to Office 365, which gives you lots of good stuff. Okay, you get the entire Microsoft Office suite. You can do that up to 5 PCs or Macs. Some Office apps for your iPad. You get a terabyte of OneDrive. It's a lot of cool stuff. Lots of information for you to be able to access that on the Georgia Virtual School site. So take advantage of that if you so choose. When you are saving your assignments, okay, this is very important. I have a lot of students that, or not a lot, I have students sometimes that will submit an assignment and it has a bad file name. Okay, here, and I can't open it. Okay, so if that happens, this is what's going to happen. Okay, you send me a file, I go to grade it, I can't open it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a 0, and in the comments section I'm going to say, I couldn't open up this file. Please resubmit within 2 school days so I can grade. And so then it's on you. You have to figure out what's wrong with the file because I don't know. Okay, and you have to resubmit it to me. And once you do that, then I'll grade it, and there won't be a late penalty. But if you let the 2 days pass, then the 0 stays. Okay, so make sure you're sending me something in a common format. Don't do pages. No pages. That's no. I'm gonna put this in here. Pages. Y'all know what Pages is, right? It's a Mac's Office system and Keynote, all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'm on a computer that can open that, and sometimes I'm not. So please just stick with the Microsoft Office documents, okay? Yeah, you should tell me your document should include your name and the name of the assignment. I mean, that's just good practice right there, okay? I expect you to do your own work. I don't expect you to, if you're taking this class with somebody else at your face-to-face school, I don't expect you guys to just split up the work and copy each other, okay? It's very easy for me to see who is, it's very easy for me to get to know you by your work and your writing, and students sometimes don't realize that, but it's very easy. And so I will know, I can spot it if you are not turning in something that is original. Okay, so you know that. If you have questions on the Georgia Virtual School site, there is a help page that can probably answer your question. And so I would try there before you reached out to me, because you could probably get it answered pretty quickly. They also have a live chat that you can talk with somebody. There are student resources, particularly in the student handbook. I'll show you where that is in just a moment. You should use either Mozilla Firefox or Chrome. I'm on Chrome right now when you are working the Georgia Virtual School System. It just plays nice with Georgia Virtual School System. Internet Explorer does not. Is not good. So if you're having trouble with the system, getting from one place to the other in the system, in the Georgia Virtual School System, check which browser you're using, because that's probably the problem. I talked about your Georgia Virtual School email. That's how we will communicate. I talked, you should check your email daily to see if you get something from me. We have each week an automated system that will call if your grade drops below 70. And so this is going to send out notification emails, and will call your home if you are not passing in the class. I hope it doesn't go out first thing this week, because it's done that in the in the past, even though there are no grades yet. Okay. The synchronous office hours, I talked about that. I'm here Mondays at 4 o'clock. So please come if you have questions. Like I said, they're being recorded. So even if you don't have a question, you can listen to the recording at a later time. And I'll show you in just a moment where those recordings are. This is how the course is set up to grade. So our class activities are worth 20%. Okay, look at this right here. Tests and projects are 50%. So if your grade starts tanking, this is probably the reason why. Okay, that's huge, and I don't set these. The Georgia Virtual School sets these for me. Okay, discussions are worth 10%, and then our final exam is 20%. What you can expect from me is that your assignments will be graded within 3 school days of being submitted on Monday through Friday. If you submit a test, don't don't email me an hour later and ask why it's not graded. Okay, I have 3 school days. Okay, I work too. All right, I will. I grade every night. Okay, so hopefully, if you turn something in, it will be graded as, probably that night. But I have 3 school days, okay? So I get that sometimes. A student will say, well, I submitted it at 4 o'clock today, and it's 6 o'clock. Why isn't it graded yet? Well, okay. Like I said, assignments are due on Wednesday, okay? On Thursday morning, I get up and I put in zeros for anything that has not been turned in. Okay, so please make sure, and I'm pretty good at staying on top of that, so make sure that you get your work in on time. I also give feedback on quizzes and Dropbox items as well as discussions. Please look at that feedback, particularly if you turn something in. I would make it a good practice to go in on Thursday. Maybe you don't have a grade yet, because you got to think everybody's turning their assignments in on Wednesday, okay? So and a lot of students wait till the last minute to turn something in. Even if I'm grading every night, I still get a lot of work to grade on Thursday morning. But I would make it a good practice to go in and make sure that you didn't get a 0 on Thursday morning, because maybe you thought you turned something in and it didn't get turned in, and now you see that you have a 0. That's a time where all you have to do is reach out to me and say, hey, I turned that in. I'm not sure why I have a 0 right there. Let me check on it, okay? Also, and this is important right here, please ask about your grades. You know, I make mistakes sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes I make mistakes. I intend to put 100 and it ends up a 10, okay? So, you know, it's perfectly fine for you to email me and say, you know, I got a 10 on that assignment and I'm not really sure why. Could you help me understand? And so I'll go back and I'll look and I'll say, oh, wow, you know, okay, I messed up. I should have put 100 in there. But I'll fix it and we'll both move on, okay? So it's perfectly fine for you to ask me about your grade. All right, let's look at a Georgia Virtual School course. Now give me just 1 second so I can log in real quick, because I didn't do that before. Give me 2 seconds. And we have a lot of students in this class. I'm not sure. Well, you probably aren't aware. Hopefully you have completed the student orientation course, because once you complete the student orientation course, then under the My Courses you will gain access, let's see, business student, to the course. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. This is all behind the scenes, folks. You're not seeing anything just yet. Okay, so now you are, hopefully. All right, can you see my home page? You can just type something in the chat box. I'm going to try to, because they don't do this. No pages. No. Yes, pages. I didn't never hit enter. Okay, Rhea and Tanner tell me, yes, you can see. So you see my picture right here, right? Everybody good? Everybody still here? Reese, you still here? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Excuse me. All right. All right, so this is our home page for AP Comparative Government. Again, here is my contact information, okay? One of your first tasks is to check out your Georgia Virtual School email. That information's right here. This first box that you see here is our classroom bulletin board. So to set up your email, there's a link right here you can click to get that email set up. Another thing that you need to do is fill out the handbook acknowledgement form. If you click right here, that'll show you that acknowledgement form, okay? That's something that I have to have. It just shows you that it just says that you understand what's expected of you in the course, okay? The next box that you see, and I'm in a student view, so what you're going to see is actually this 18-week Welcome to Comparative Government schedule. I'm thinking that a lot of you maybe have already seen this because you're here. This is where I will post weekly news announcements. Now, it's my preference that I just go ahead in my weekly news announcement and tell you what's due that week, okay? Not all Georgia Virtual School teachers do that, okay? But I do, because I want to make sure that you are following the pacing guide. And so I will list right here in just a moment. I'll show you an example of of what a news announcement that I posted last semester, letting people know what's coming up in the week. But this is very important because this is kind of how I communicate with you and tell you of different things going on. So make sure you always look at the news announcements, okay? Like I said, this is my teacher contact information. Here's our course information. This is where you're going to see these different schedules. If you're in the 18-week schedule, that's the only one you're going to be interested in, but you could look at the others. All you do is click the link right there, and it takes you right to that schedule. Okay? All I did was click this link right here, okay? Georgia Performance Standards. Here's that acknowledgement form, okay? And when I don't get that, I'm going to start telling you that I don't have it from you, and then you're going to say, well, where is it? And right now, I'm telling you it's right here. So you can just go ahead and fill that out and have your parents fill it out or read it and acknowledge that they see it and know what's expected of you as well. There's a student information notebook that may be of help to you, and here is how you join the session. And I'm thinking that most of you probably have already been here. It's not working. What do you mean? If I click on it, then it does what? You didn't see that, Reese? Or did you click on this one and this one not? This one's not working. Mine are working, Reese. What are we gonna do? Huh? Yours is not working either. Well, let me work on that. Try to figure out what's going on, why that's not happening. Okay, I will do that. Thank you. But this is how you join the live session on Mondays at 4 p.m. Oh, thank you, Ria. Oh, that's interesting. That's the link that you sent out. Okay. Well, we will get you a proper link for the form, okay? Let's see. Okay, so remember I told you that these sessions are recorded, okay? And once I finish the session and I get the recording link, this is where I'm going to post them, okay? And it'll say something like this one. This recording link will say 18-week welcome session and then maybe today's date. So if you miss a session and you want to look or listen to what went on, you can just find the link right here and click on it, okay? It'll be a video recording, okay? It'll be like a YouTube video. All right. All right, so that's our course home page. Let me show you real quick what a news announcement looks like. I'm going to get out of being a student, and I'm going to go into being a teacher. And, well, I thought it was going to, hold on, let me get up here. This is my course from last semester. See all these great news announcements? Let me find something that was... Yes, it ends up being a lot. All right, don't take this. This is sort of what it might look like, okay? I'll give you a message, and then I'll tell you everything that's due, all right? Focusing on what's due next Wednesday, okay? And I'll list the assignments. Don't pay attention to that. I used to do these sessions in the evening, but now I do them in the afternoons. Okay, a reading list, okay, because I'll show you in a minute how to get a hold of your textbook. And then, maybe something interesting. Okay, so make sure you are looking for these news announcements. They come out every week. Okay, so that's that. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes I make a mistake, and that's another reason to look at the news announcement, because I may list the wrong assignment, and students will say, that's not what's on the schedule. You've got it wrong on the news announcement. And I'll say, thank you for telling me, and I'll have to fix it. Let me go back in as a student. I like to go in as a student because then you see what you see on your normal screen. If we look at this as a teacher, then you see different things. Okay. All right. So you probably are wondering to yourself, all right, okay, I get all of this, but where do I find the introduction discussion? And then what do I do when I find it? Okay, well, let me show you. Okay, up here at the top, you have something called assessments. Okay, if I click, all I did was click on this drop down arrow right here. Now, one of the first things you're going to need to do is an introduction discussion. So if I come over here and I click on discussions, there is an introduction discussion right there. Okay, and then you just click on that, this title right here, and start a new thread. Okay, that allows you to do whatever the discussion wanted you to do. Okay, read what you have to do there. Okay, that's one way to get to it. The other way to get to this is if I go up here, let me go back to the home page. If I come here to course materials and I click on content, we see a table of contents here. And what this shows me are all the different units, starting right here, that we will learn in or cover in AP Comparative Government. We also have this unit right here called eText. This is how you gain access to your textbook. If I click right here and click on this eText access,
this video is going to help
it
you
automatically
to
starts
eText.
talking to me, and I don't want it to. Okay, so these pages right here, you don't have to read through every one of these pages. This explains to you how you access your textbook. Okay, it involves a couple of emails being sent to you from this company called Lock Lizard, and you downloading, depending on your class. In this case, it's AP Comparative Government, or Government Comparative. Got that wrong. And that comprises all, all of these. I mean, you don't, like I said, you don't have to read through every one of these because it's all, each one of these pages are these different links right here. So really all you're interested in is the first.
This video is going to help
and
you
she's
to
so
access
helpful
your
in that she always, every time you click on this page, she starts telling you, so you can read it or you can watch this little 6 and 37-minute video. Okay. All right. So that's your eText. Once you have the eText, then you can come right here to concepts, our first unit, concepts and comparative government, and you can start at the very beginning with these links. Now you may be tempted to just say, oh, okay, here's an assignment. See, because I came over here. First assignment is this normative and empirical assignment. Okay, and so you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here's my instructions right here. So you download, because it says click here to download your assignment instructions, and then you download it, and that's what you're supposed to do. I'll just pause real quick and just say this assignment right here, what we're looking at is different ways political scientists study comparative government and the different methods by which they use to analyze data. In this particular assignment, I'm not looking for let's see, how do I say this? I'm looking for your best guess. Okay, I just want to know if you think it meets this normative or this empirical style of research, and tell me why you think it's one or the other. Okay, because this is a very subjective assignment. Somebody could say normative and make a good argument. Another person could say empirical and make a somewhat of a good argument. Okay, this I'm just really checking for understanding here. Okay, But give it your best shot. Okay, this first week's worth of activities, I'm trying to just kind of get you acclimated to how to work the course. Okay, I'm not really, slamming you up against the wall, holding your feet to the fire. I am in terms of will you turn in the assignments that are due. I'm really, trying to be, firm about that. But as far as the content of what you turn in, that I can be flexible on. This first unit, okay, because our first unit is just, introducing ourselves to comparative government, okay? But these different pages as you go through will help you, along with the readings and the text, will help you work the course and know and understand comparative government. Okay. Are there any questions? So I've looked at my schedule. First thing here, it says intro discussion. So I come over here. Where is my intro discussion? That may be here, actually. Yes. All right. That's I guess this is the very, very first unit. This actually shouldn't be here. It should be down here. But anyway, you can read through and look at these different pages. Okay. And if I click right here, this is going to take me straight to the intro and where I can start the thread. Okay, that's fun, right? I'm just showing you can get there by going straight to discussions, or you can go to content. Good, somebody has a question. Now, where do we find what pages, chapter we're supposed to read from the text? I will tell you what those are. Nicholas, thank you for that question. I will be posting a reading list of each unit and what you need to be reading, which chapters you need to be reading. It's kind of bouncing around the book. I hate to say that, but it's true. We have to kind of bounce around a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I will say this. Your first introduction discussion here, you're going to do two things. You're going to introduce yourself and you're going to choose a country. AP Comparative Government looks at 6 specific countries. This is what we say. That's what comparative government is. You compare the governments of different countries. And in this course, we work within the framework of 6 countries. Okay? Those countries are Great Britain, China, Mexico, Nigeria, Iran, or Russia. Before you ask, no, I didn't come up with those. This is something that the College Board determines. And whether you take AP Comparative Government with me or at your own school or at a school in Alaska, if you're going to take AP Comparative Government through that is sanctioned by the College Board, these are the 6 countries that you're going to study. Okay? And so what I'm asking you to do in this first discussion question is to introduce yourself and then choose one of these 6 countries to kind of follow or study for the semester. And throughout the semester, there will be different assignments. And for example, I will say, in this assignment, use your chosen country and one other country. So you are able to compare. Okay? So right off the bat, you're going to have to make a decision kind of which country kind of stands out to you. Maybe you all automatically know, which country you want to choose. You may want to, do a little bit of research on some of these countries and find out which one you want to choose for the semester. Your second task in this is to go to this website. It's called Watching America. It's kind of a cool website, actually. What it does when you click on this is it provides foreign news sources. And when I click on this, you can go to virtually any country. Let's just do, I don't know. Virtually, let's do Russia. Okay, say you chose Russia. All of these different links right here are to Russian newspapers. Okay, and some have English translations. Okay, like the Moscow Times. Okay, if I click on this, this is going to show me what is in what's going on in this paper. And so what our assignment is for you to go and choose one of these newspapers and briefly describe what is politically making headlines in that country. Okay? All right, so Worse Than Omsk, a new book explains why this passed on the, okay, I have no idea what any of that is, but for whatever it is, it's making headlines in Russia. Here's something else that's making headlines. The Ukraine Orthodox Church marks first Christmas free of Russian fetters. Okay, so that's something that you, if you chose Russia, you could write a little bit about. When I say a little bit, I mean, I'm not expecting an essay. This is an intro discussion. So tell me something about yourself. Tell me that you chose Russia, and then come here, find a news story that kind of piques your interest, and give me, I don't know, 5 to 8 sentences on what it is and why you think it's interesting. Okay? Yes, you are graded on discussion forums. Yeah, usually it is, so her question is, are you graded on discussion forums? Is there a required number of times that we have to reply to others in each forum? The general rule of thumb is respond to the question or post a response to the question and then respond it to classmates. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at what you write and if you responded to 2 classmates. Okay, any questions? You're welcome. That's in the Introduction to Your GAFS course. I didn't realize they put that there. They should put that here, but okay. So when you come to this content, remember how I got here? I went here and then did this, and that brought me to the table of contents. So you can just start here, intro, and then get that e-text. I'm going to tell you what you should be reading in the e-text for each one of these units. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have our final exam. Okay? Who has a question? I've gone over a lot. My goal for these sessions is to talk about the course or maybe teach you something in about the first 30 minutes and then leave the last 30 minutes for just Q&A. So if you have a question, you can ask it. If not, you can, head on out. But who has a question? What did I forget? Have I forgotten something? I haven't forgotten anything. Yes, I get my Facebook notifications. I guess you're seeing that. Nobody has a question. Nobody has a question. I guess that's a good thing. That means I was very thorough. Or maybe you just don't have a question right now. Okay. So I'm going to get that off. I'll bring this back over here. And I'm going to stop sharing. And then I'm going to bring up my presentation, get that back. Georgia Virtual School does have some help sessions for the system. Here are oh, wow, those are not current dates, are they? That's August and September. I will update that. Last but not least, make sure you remember that I am here to help you. I want you to succeed. If you need help in something, please feel free to reach out to me. I promise you, it is not a bother. Even if you ask me the same question a couple of times, it is not a bother, and I want you to ask me. However, if your question can wait until Mondays at 4 o'clock, that would be great. Because that gives us a chance to talk to each other in real time. And these are the most important, I was going to say people, but they're not people, they're canines. These are the most important canines in my life. Here we have Ellie. She's a Chihuahua mixed with something else, okay? And that's Oscar. He loves steak. That's what he's got in his mouth, is a big old piece of steak. And this is Roxy Hart and Rupert. They are Westies. I never intended to have 4 dogs. I ended up with 4. These 2 I bought. Roxy and Rupert I bought when I was a dog snob. And then these 2 are rescue dogs. If you ever get a chance to rescue a dog, please do that. Because let me tell you, all 4 of my dogs are crazy. They are. But we all love each other, so that's good. All right, I'm finished. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything for me? Who has a question? I tell you what, if you don't have a question, type "I don't have a question" in the chat box. Because I don't know if you're sitting out there typing a question or if you're just sitting there saying, "I don't have a question." Okay, all right. Thank you, Tanner and Reese and Katie and Rhea. Is that it? And Andrew. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming. I am going to let you go. And please, like I said, you know how to get in touch with me. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Have a great night. You can just click up there at the exit session to, thank you, Rhea, exit the session.